Welcome to a new video from the Art Zamin educational channel. We're here with a new tutorial on Microsoft Word document. This is another software from the Office suite, and while many might already know it well, I think it's still worth discussing it on this channel. So let's talk about the font header and the changes we made to the fonts, what the changes are, and learn how to use the font in detail, and we'll get through all of these parts specifically and thoroughly. So let's start with a piece of text, step by step, carefully and comprehensively in this discussion as we proceed, and explore each aspect. I'm going to stretch the journey so we can see the changes better, because I want to increase the font size, meaning the size of the words will go up. Let's use this formula to increase this, reduce this size, and here we can type the number you want because it's not more than 72. I can type 72.8 for example, but it's up to 72. If you want a larger number, you have to enter it manually. It definitely needs to be entered manually. I'll set this on H1. I want to make these headers bold, so I'll use this option here, and the header will become bold. Sometimes, in certain fonts, the bold might not be very noticeable due to the font itself. So, I'll go into the header section and change it to something like this, or maybe to this. You can see it doesn't stand out much, but I might change it to this one. It doesn't really show clearly, but here, for example, if I want to underline this word, I can use this option. I'll change it to something like this, or something like this. It's not very clear, you see, but I might change this to this. It's not completely clear, but here, for example, it's clear that if I want to underline or underline this word, it's half of it. Now it has a series of settings. For example, someone might want to draw a line over something. Let's say that underline. In this section, if we select the strike through option, the line will be drawn, in addition to the underline, which we can also do here on this option. We can also change the style of the underline here. Notice we can use this option or double line it. If you have a document and want to emphasize, we can change the underlining here. We can use this or make it double underlined. You have a document to emphasize more, so you can use these styles. This is italics, meaning it slants. It's slanted. Write a number here, round it off. We write a number here, and I want to convert this to a power. This is for power. If you are typing a math expression and you want to write 2 to the power of 3, you select this and make it a power. Maybe I'll make this bigger. Maybe it's bigger. Let's make it 2. It bent. Or it takes a slant. We write a number here. We need to round it off. We write a number here, and I want to make it a power. This symbol is for power. If typing a math expression and want to write 2 to the power of 3, select and make it a power. You can also adjust the size smaller. Convert to subscript to come below. We see it takes this shape. In this section, you can also put the power as a subscript. No issues. This is the design section. What's change case mean? Sentence case means a sentence is logical. Consider this. Clicking sentence case. The first letter is capitalized. The item in question is not just a small size. In fact, it is considerably larger than what one might typically expect when thinking about small sizes. This means that when you look at it, you will notice that it has dimensions that are more substantial and noticeable. It stands out due to its larger than average size, which makes it quite distinct from other items that are usually categorized as small. This larger size can be beneficial in various situations where a more prominent presence is desired or required. Therefore, it is important to recognize that this item does not fit into the small size category, as it exceeds those typical measurements by a significant margin. What does change case mean? Sentence case means a complete sentence is written logically. For example, if we consider something like this, if I click on sentence case, we know that in English, the first letter of a sentence will be capitalized. As you noticed the last time I wrote, all the letters were uppercase. In Engels, I only consider the first one, because it seems to be a starting point. For the second case, I'm making everything lowercase. I'm changing everything to lowercase. For the third case, I'm making everything uppercase. The next item will be done by a colleague. And this option also makes random changes to the letters, making the first letter of each word lowercase and the rest uppercase. It makes everything uppercase randomly. Big. The same random thing does this. It makes everything bigger. It's bold. We created the sentence. Later, I will say that these changes come through faith. This works. We're going to undo everything we've done on that expression so far. Well, I've been reading a bunch of articles in the news. I'm actually going to change the color so that it's easier to understand. I'm going to go back to the beginning. The first word here is, I'm not going to go to the halftime section. Then I'll go to the halftime section and explain 3 of them. Then when I think about it, I'd better explain 1 more. Oh, find out before it's too late. You see, click the symbol. In the font section, you can still make the changes that were here. For example, make it bold at the same time, make it italic at the same time, make it bold only, make it italic only. In my case, here I should see the fonts that are for Latin letters. This is for fonts from non-English languages. For example, it could be Persian or Arabic. You can make the changes here. Finally, when you click OK or Save from default, write in the file you have. Your English characters will be written according to the font you narrowed down here. Your non-English characters will be written in the middle of this font. What are these? This goes down. All the indices. This goes up. The power. This line comes in. This one line comes in. They magnify all this. They belittle all this. And they hide this word of ours. This part also has text effects, which currently doesn't do anything. The advanced section doesn't have anything special either. The advanced section is about the same thing, which is the spacing between lines and how much space there should be between the letters, whether it should be less or more. Let's slightly adjust the position of the letters a bit upwards or downwards to maintain their normal appearance. In this section, we can change the spacing between the letters of a word. The changes will be applied, so let's keep this part for the font section, and then we'll see the color in the next video.